In my last video, I have explained the working principle of single beam and double beam IR spectrophotometer. In this class, I am going to explain instrumentation of IR spectrophotometer. Means in this I am going to give complete details of IR spectrophotometer components. IR spectrophotometer instrumental parts. Here you can see this is the instrumentation of IR spectroscopy. Here in the last class we already seen the single beam and double beam IR spectrophotometer. Here the main thing is here IR spectrophotometer mainly consists the following parts. The main components of IR spectrophotometers are following. First one, radiation source. Second one, monochromator. And monochromator again we know that prisms and gratings. And third one, sample cells. Also known as sampling techniques. And fourth one, detectors. Among these four, these radiation source and these sampling cells and detectors are very important. Let's see one by one. First one, radiation source. So here from the radiation source, IR radiation will be emitted. What are the ideal properties of radiation source in IR spectroscopy? Here first one, the radiation have sufficient intensity for detection. Here the radiation source must provide the sufficient intense radiation. And second ideal property, the radiation source, RS means radiation source. The radiation source must be stable. It must be stable. Then third ideal property, it should provide continuous radiation over the entire wavelength region. Here we have near, mid, far IR region is there now. The radiation source must be able to provide radiation over the entire wavelength region, whatever we are going to use for the analysis purpose. Then so four kinds of radiation sources are commonly used in IR spectroscopy. What are those? First one, incandescent lamp. Second one, Nenest blower. Third one, glow bar source. And fourth one, mercury arc lamp. These four radiation sources are used in the IR spectrophotometer. Let's see one by one. First one, incandescent lamp. Here it is used in near IR region instrument only. Incandescent lamp is only used in near IR region, near infrared region only, not in mid and far IR region. Why? Here not used in far IR instrumentation because it is glass enclosure. This lamp is coming with glass enclosure. So it has low spectral emissivity. Low spectral emissivity means it unable to emit the radiation in mid IR region and as well as far IR region. That's why it is not used in far IR instrument because it is glass enclosed. So it leads to low spectral emission from this incandescent lamp. Only used in near IR region only. That is about incandescent lamp. Next one, Nenest blower. Nenest blower. Second, next you can see it consists hollow rod. It consists hollow rod. Which is about 2 mm diameter, 30 mm length. Here this hollow rod which is about 2 mm diameter, 30 mm length. This hollow rod or Nenest blower which is made up of rare earth oxides, very important. Rare earth metal oxides such as zirconium oxide, yttrium oxide, thorium oxide, erbium. These are made up of these metal oxides, earth oxides. Very important thing. In GPAT point of view also question will be asked. In following IR radiation source, which radiation source is made up of earth oxides? Or metal oxide, metal earth oxide means you need to choose Nenest blower. Then it is non-conducting at room temperature. Nenest blower is non-conducting means here it is unable to pass current or heat fluid at room temperature, but it can become conducting. Conducting state by external heating. But you supply the heat through this Nenest blower, it become conducting. Here generally heated to temperature between 1000 to 1800 degrees centigrade. Here generally this Nenest blower is heated to how much temperature? 1000 to 1800 degrees centigrade. Then there between this temperature it provides maximum radiation about 7100 centimeter inverse. It provides maximum radiation about 7100 centimeter inverse. We know that here absorption of IR radiation we can measure in wavelength and as well as wave numbers form. This is wave number 7100 centimeter inverse. Here centimeter inverse. 14 numbers. Then coming to what is the advantages of Nernst Glover. Here intensity of radiation is steady, okay, and constant over entire wavelength region. Means okay, this Nernst Glover provides okay, here radiation provides stable, okay, and constant over entire wavelength region. Okay, this is about Nernst Glover. And next one, Globar source. Third radiation source is Globar source. It consists sintered silicon carbide, okay, which is about 50 mm length, 4 mm diameter, 50 mm length, 4 mm diameter. Here this term also you need to remember, sintered silicon carbide. Sometimes ask here which IR detector or which detector is made up of sintered silicon carbide. Means you need to choose Globar source. If it is heated 1300 to 1700 degrees centigrade, here it strongly emits IR radiation. Here it has come to Nernst Glover. Here it is heating to 1000 to 1800. Here it is heating up to 1300 to 1700 degrees centigrade. Then strongly emits IR radiation. Okay, it emits maximum radiation about 5200 centimeter inverse. Here about Nernst Glover 7100 centimeter. Here 5200 centimeter inverse. Okay, here unlike Globar source, unlike Nernst Glover, source, okay, it is self-starting. This Globar source is self-starting, okay, and works satisfactorily at the longer wavelength. Okay, this Globar source is a self-starting, okay, self-starting one, and works satisfactorily at the longer wavelength. Okay, then disadvantages: less intense radiation than the Nernst Glover. Here, this Globar source provides less intense radiation than Nernst Glover. That is the thing. Okay, then mercury arc lamp. Fourth one is a mercury arc lamp. Okay, then in far IR regions, specially designated high pressure mercury arc lamp is used. Okay, in far IR regions, specially designated high pressure mercury arc lamp are used. So these are about the radiation source which are used in IR spectrophotometer. First one, incandescent lamp, Nernst Glover. Okay, incandescent lamp is used in near IR region. Nernst Glover consists made up of radial oxides. Okay, Globar source made up of sintered silicon carbide and mercury arc lamp. Okay, it is for IR regions, specially designed for high pressure mercury arc lamp is used in far IR regions. So this is about radiation source. What is the next second thing? Monochromator. Okay, monochromator. I am not going to give explanation about monochromator because we already discussed in UV spectroscopy. Okay, there are some, but you need to remember those things, two things. Here monochromator, we know that two types, prisms and gratings. In the prisms also we have sometimes. Gratings also two types are there. But you remember here prisms are made up of alkali halides. Alkali halides. In UV visible spectroscopy they are made up of quartz and glass. In UV spectroscopy here prisms are made up of quartz. In visible here it may be glass. Here prisms in IR spectroscopy must alkali halides. Remember, alkali halides do not absorb IR radiation. Alkali halides. And gratings are made up of aluminum. Gratings are made up of aluminum, which are not attacked by the moisture. If aluminum is if aluminum is used, means this aluminum cannot be attacked by the moisture. So these two things you need to remember. Then third one is sampling techniques or sampling sample cells which are used in IR spectroscopy, IR spectrophotometer. This part is very important. Okay. You see, generally IR spectroscopy is useful for the calculation of all solids, liquids, gases. Okay, we can analyze solid sample, we can analyze liquid sample, and also we can analyze gas sample. All types of sample can be analyzed by IR spectroscopy or IR spectrophotometer. Then let's see, here first we need to discuss about the sampling techniques for solids. After that, sampling of liquids. Then after that, sampling techniques for gases. Then here sampling of solid is very important. 4 techniques are employed for the analysis of sample. Okay, 4 techniques are employed for the analysis of sample. 4 techniques means you can see first one is solid run in solution. Solid run in solution. Second one is solid films. Solid films. Third technique is mull technique or mull technique. Fourth one is pressed pellet technique. Pressed pellet technique means all you if you see the names, solid running solution means okay, all the all the techniques here, solid sample may not be directly using for analysis. Okay, we are not directly taking the solid sample for the okay analysis. Okay, instead of direct using, we are converting the sample into another form. Okay, in this form solids are analyzing in the form of solution. In this form solids are analyzed in the form of films. In this form Muller technique paste form. Okay, Muller nothing but paste. Okay, paste form. Here Presser pellet technique, name itself indicating pellet form. Solids are analyzed in the different forms. Okay, based on that we are giving the name. Let's see one by one. Solid run in solution. Okay, means solids are analyzed in the form of solution. Okay, you see here solvents used for the preparation of sample. Okay, whatever the solvents used for the preparation of sample solution means solvent which are used for the dissolving the solid. Okay, solid should not absorb aeration. The solvent which are used should not absorb aeration, and it should be chemical and it should not chemically interact with the sample. It should not chemically interact with the sample. These two properties must possess any solvent which are using in IR spectroscopy. Then solids are dissolved in suitable solvent. First one, how the process? First, solids has to be dissolved in suitable solvent to make solution form. We have to choose the suitable solvent for dissolving the solids. Then solution form. Solution form will be obtained. Then after obtaining solution form, after converting into solution form, a drop of solution is placed in alkali metal disc. A drop of solution is placed in alkali metal disc, then followed by evaporation to leave thin film of solution. Okay. Okay. Then for analysis, after making solution form, a drop of solution we have to take. Okay. From the drop of solution that has to be placed on alkali metal disc. Okay. Disc. Then after we are allowing for evaporation. After evaporation, leaving a thin film of solute is remain. Okay, that thin film of solute we have to analyze. That we have to keep in IR spectrophotometer instrument. Then we need to analyze. Or another way, here instead of putting a drop of solution, we are taking entire solution. The entire solution is placed in the sample set this time. Okay, both the way are useful. Entire solution is placed in sample set. So then solution is run in one of the cell for liquid. Then solution is run in one of the cell for liquid means. Then we have to run the spectrum. Okay. Then we have to start the instrument. Means then after running the instrument means the IR radiation will falling onto the sample cell. Okay. That is the thing. Then what are the commonly used solvents for dissolving these solids in this way? Commonly used solvents are chloroform, carbon disulfide that is CS2, carbon tetrachloride CCl4, cyclohexane, acetone, etc. These are commonly used solvents. Then what is the limitation? What are the drawback of solids run in solution method? First, it is not applicable to the all the solids. This method is not applicable to the all solids because limitation of suitable solvent. Here we have less number of solvents for dissolving the suitable compound. Okay, that is the one drawback. That is the one limitation. Another drawback is there is no single solvent. There is no single solvent which is transparent throughout the IR radiation. Here all the solvent may not all the solvent. The meaning of this, all the solvents are not transparent to the IR radiation. If unless not transparent, how can we get accurate results? Okay, means the meaning it may be absorbed. It may be black the IR radiation. Okay, in that condition we can't get proper results. So there is no single solvent which is transparent throughout the IR radiation. This is the limitation and drawback of this solid running solution. Then second method is solid film. Okay, means in this film form, solids are analyzed in the form of film. Okay, how you can see it is used in the case of sample is amorphous. Underline. Okay, if the sample is amorphous in nature means if the solid is amorphous in nature means, and we have to follow this method. How? Okay, here the sample solution means the sample solution is placed in KBr or NaCl. NaCl cell. Okay, here means amorphous means this amorphous sample also should be dissolved in the solvent. Okay, after making solution form, the sample solution is placed in KBr or NaCl cell, sample cell. Okay, then followed by evaporation of solution of solid. Here, okay, then after making solution form, this is placed in KBr made cell or NaCl made cell. Then followed by we are evaporating the solution and we will get the film. That film we are using for the analysis. Okay, this method is useful for qualitative analysis. Useful for qualitative, nothing but identification of the functional group present in that molecule. Qualitative analysis only, not for quantitative. Okay, not for quantitative. Here by this method we cannot analyze the quantity of the each group or quantity of the each sample present in the solution. Okay, we cannot use for quantitative analysis, only for qualitative analysis. Then Mull technique, third one or Mull technique. Okay, here finely ground sample. Finely ground sample is nothing but powdered sample. Powdered. Finely ground sample is mixed with Nusal or Mendeleev. In this, these three things are two things. Okay, two things, Nusal or Mendeleev. In this, okay, finely ground sample is mixed with Nusal or Mendeleev to make thick paste. Okay, to make thick paste. Then first, okay, the powder sample has to be mixed with Nusal or Mendeleev. Both are same. Or high molecular weight liquid paraffin also. It is also known as high molecular weight liquid paraffin. The sample solution, powder sample has to be mixed with Nusal or Mendeleev or high molecular weight liquid paraffin. For what? To making thick paste. To making thick paste. Well, nothing but paste only. Thick paste. Here, after making paste form, this paste is spread between IR transmitting windows. That paste is we have to spread between IR transmitting windows. After spreading, then IR transmitting windows is placed on the pathway of IR beam of the instrument. Okay, then after spreading, then this paste is spreading on IR transmitted windows. Then that windows are placed on the pathway of IR beam, means placed in the IR instrumentation. Okay, then spectrum is run, means radiation will fall onto the sample cell. Then we will get the spectrum. Okay, spectrum is run. Here generally the thing is Nusal is used with combination. Nusal is used with combination of hexachlorobutadiene. Okay, here along with Nusal we also use hexachlorobutadiene for mixing with sample. Okay, remember that. Here why we are choosing Nusal or Mendeleev or high liquid weight paraffin? Because here this Nusal is transparent throughout the air radiation. That's why it is transparent throughout the air radiation. That's why we are choosing this Nusal. Okay, and it is used for qualitative analysis, not for quantitative analysis. Same as like of solid films. Here solid films also used for qualitative. Here also qualitative. Here it is not for quantitative. Here also not for quantitative. This is a Mull technique. Simple thing. Powder sample has to mix it with Nusal or Mendeleev or high molecular weight form. Okay. Then to make thick paste. Then after making paste has to be spread on IR transmitting windows. Then this window is placed in the pathway of IR beam. Then spectrum is run. We will get the peaks. Okay. Generally, why we are using Nusal means, okay, it is transparent throughout the IR radiation. Generally, Nusal is used with the combination of hexachlorobutadiene. This is about Mull technique. And another important technique is pressed pellet technique. Pressed pellet technique. Remember, in any pharmaceutical industry, okay, if any sample is enveloped by IR spectroscope means these two techniques are used for solid analysis. Mull technique and pressed pellet techniques are most commonly used. Okay, say pressed pellet technique means pellet is formed by using somewhat pressure. By using the pressure, pellet is forming. Solid is analyzed in the form of pellet by applying pressure. This is the thing. How you can see. Small amount of finely ground solid sample means small amount of finely ground sample means small amount of powder sample mixed with 100 times its weight of the powder KBr. This is the important. Okay, we are mixing with KBr. Okay, remember in pressed pellet technique. Okay, small amount of powder sample given that has to be mixed with 100 times its weight of powder KBr. Okay, 100 times its weight of powder KBr. Then this mixture is allowed to press under high pressure. After mixing with KBr, then this mixture is allowed to press under high pressure to form small pellet. Here then this mixture is allowed to press. Okay, after pressing what will happen? here it will form small pellet. Okay, small thin pellet. It is having about 1 to 2 mm thickness and 1 centimeter in diameter. That much small thin pellet will be formed. Okay, why this much range? Why this much diameter means the resulting pellet is transparent to the IR radiation. If the pellet is formed 1 to 2 mm or 1 centimeter in diameter, means that the resulting pellet will transmit the IR radiation. Okay, then for analyzing, blank KBr pellet also placed in IR pathway as a reference. Blank KBr means without mixing with sample. Okay, without mixing sample. First alone just KBr and mixed here sample and KBr mixed sample we have to use. Blank KBr used as a reference. This is the process. Sample should be mixed with 100 times weight of powdered KBr. Then allowed to press under high pressure to form pellet form. Okay, pressure we are applying to make the pellet. That is about 1 to 2 mm thickness, 1 centimeter in diameter. Then the resulting pellet having, okay, which is transparent to the IR radiation. Here the blank KBr pellet is also placed in the IR pathway of reference. How pellet will be formed? What is the device we have to use? Okay, this is the device for processing of KBr disc. This is nothing but pellet. Okay, pellet is in the form of disc form, circle form. Okay, the device which are there, this is the device which is using for formation of KBr disc. You can see here A and A1, these are the screws. Okay, and these two are the steel cylinders. These two are the steel cylinders. A and A dash. These two are the screws. Okay, and here between these two screws we are placing the sample, means mixture. KBr plus sample. This mixture we are placing here. Then what we need to do? First, we have to tighten the screw. Okay, we have to tighten the screw A. Okay, then after while tightening, what will happen? And slowly it will come down. The sample which is placed in between here will be compressed. Slowly the A screw will be come down and the sample become pressed. So after pressing, you will get a form like this, thin pellet form. This is circle form. This form you will get. Okay, pellet form is after. After compressing, then you have to you have to release the both bolts or both screws A and A dash. Okay, then the sample is placed in the steel cylinder. The sample is placed in the steel cylinder. The steel cylinder with the sample is placed in the IR pathway. Okay, placed in the pathway of IR beam, means in the IR instrument. Then we will get the spectrum. Okay, that is the thing. Okay. Then what are the advantages of pressed pellet technique? Okay, this is most important technique for analysis of solids by IR spectroscopy. What are the advantages? Why we are using KBr instead of other compounds means KBr pellet can be stored for longer period of time. If you it can be stored for longer period of time. It can give stability to the sample. Here the sample cannot be degraded by the moisture. That can it gives stability. KBr pellets can be stored for longer period of time. Also useful for quantitative analysis. Remember, this is the important. Also used for quantitative analysis. If you can see the solid films and solid films only for qualitative, mul technique is only for qualitative. But this technique, pressed pellet technique, it is also used for qualitative as well as quantitative analysis. What are the disadvantages means? Okay, high pressure using during the formation of pellet may cause polymorphic changes in the crystallinity. Here to make the pellet we are supplying a high pressure. That high pressure leads to polymorphic changes in the crystalline. So that is one disadvantage. Another, it is not useful for polymers which are different, which are difficult to blend with KBr. Here polymers cannot be analyzed by pressed pellet technique because it is unable to blend with the KBr. This is about solid techniques. First one, solid run in solution form. If amorphous means film form. Then mul technique, paste form. Then pressed pellet technique, solids are analyzed in the form of pellet by mixing with KBr. This is about sampling of solids. Then coming to sampling of liquids. How liquids are analyzed? Okay, here liquids sample cells. These are liquids are handled by rectangular cells which made by NaCl or KBr or thorium bromide. okay, which are handled by rectangular cells, which made by sodium chloride or potassium chloride or thorium bromide. Here, the sample, the liquid sample thickness should be 0.01 to 0.05 mm. 0.01 to 0.05 mm. So then only at least 15 to 20% of IR radiation should pass through the sample, liquid sample. At least how much? 15 to 20%. For double beam work, okay, matched cells are employed. Matched cells. One is for test solvent, means test solvent, okay, or test sample. Another for reference solvent or reference liquid. Double beam means we have seen the double beam instrument, okay, double beam instrument. If you are using double beam instrument, IR spectrophotometer means, then we need to use the matched cells, means both cells, and those dimensions of shell should be matched. Okay, one cell has to be using for test sample or test solvent. Another matched cell is used for reference solvent. Okay, these matched shells should have same thickness, and should be protected from the moisture. These moisture cells should be protected from the moisture because they dissolve in it. They dissolve. These cells can be dissolved because the cells are made of salts now. NaCl and KBr, thorium bromide, all these are soluble salts. Okay, if any moisture contact these cells, it will these will be dissolved. So it leads to errors in the results. So that is about sampling of liquids. Then last method, sampling of gases. Cells also made up of here whatever the cells made up of gas liquid, same cells. These also cells made up of sodium chloride or potassium chloride or thorium bromide. Okay, the length of the cells are 10 centimeter to 1 meter long. Here this is the gas sample cell. You can see here 1 meter long. Okay, range is 1 meter long here, gas cell. Length of the gas cells are 10 centimeter to 1 meter long. Multiple reflections of light beam makes effective path length several times longer than the cell length. Okay, multiple reflections of, okay, you can see multiple reflections of light beam. Okay, you can see in this glass, okay, in this gas beam, okay, gas cell, you can see reflecting surface are there. Here this one and this one, this one, this one. Okay, here reflecting surface means in this cell we have to fill the gas sample. Then the radiation coming from radiation source will fall on fall onto the sample cell, gas sample cell. Okay, it focus onto this reflecting surface. Whenever it strike reflecting surface, okay, it again reflect towards another one, and from here another one, from here to here, finally reach to the equator. Means all these will make the effective path length several times longer than the cell length. That is the thing. Okay. Then gases must not react with the reflected surface. Whatever the gas we are filling in this sample cell, in the cell, it should not react with the reflecting surfaces. Okay, and gases are not commonly analyzed by IR spectroscopy because lack of sensitivity. Okay, generally here gases cannot be analyzed by IR spectroscopy because they are very much they are not sensitive. Okay, they are not sensitive to IR radiation. That is the thing. And moisture must be avoided because they will interfere with analysis. Moisture, if any moisture means it will interfere with analysis. And instrument components made up of soluble salts. I already told you that these are made up of NaCl or KBr, thorium. Okay, these are instrument is made up of soluble salts. It may be dissolved, leads to alkaline the results. So this is about sampling techniques. In my last video, I will explain the detectors. Sorry. In my next video, I will explain the detectors clearly. Okay. Thank you very much.